10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hear myself through the computer. Hi, everyone. It's Alexander, the real Mr. Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a delayed watch party. We are doing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 because, again, this is chronological order in terms of doing these MCU watch parties, so not quite ready to head back to Earth with Earth's Mightiest Heroes for more than a couple of reasons, because I don't think a lot of people are ready to revisit Age of Ultron quite yet because of what's come out with Joss Whedon. But anyway, before we get there, we will go into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is really a movie that has, my opinion on this movie has changed greatly in between when I first saw it and when I rewatched it 2 years ago before Endgame. And first of all, I want to welcome everyone who's in the chat right now, whether you're watching it via Twitch or YouTube, even though the YouTube crowd always seems to be commenting in. We got 13 people watching. Okay, that's a high number. 9 on 9 on YouTube, 4 on Twitch. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's right. The math works out right there. Gzilla100 asks what happened with Joss Whedon. Basically, it turns out he is a serial abuser. Like, he is, for being called a feminist icon, he really was abusive towards a lot of people, especially a lot of the women on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, most notably Christine Carpenter, who, God, I can't even remember her character's name. I've been trying to get back on the Buffy and Angel train long before this even happened, but yeah, like, she had like 2 weeks ago, she had a story. She basically came out of how Joss Whedon pretty much was really cruel to her, and the actress that played Buffy's sister in the later seasons said that she wasn't even allowed to be in the same room with Joss Whedon alone unless someone else was around. So there was a lot of problems. But at the same time, it's like, look, yeah, I do not stand for the man at all, but that's not going to stop me from enjoying his work. Anyway, let's forget about that, because I know a lot of people probably, like, I'd rather not get into it because that's a whole other topic on its own. But anyway, I want to thank all of you who are joining, and want to thank you for all the people who did not take off once I started talking about Joss Whedon or getting in a pseudo-political area. Cordelia, thank you. G Kolb YP. Okay. Yeah, I just had to make sure I got your name right. Anyway, this is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. If you're watching this through YouTube, but you do not follow me on Twitch, head over to twitch.tv/realmrrobinson. There should be a link either on my channel or in the description below. If the link in the description below doesn't work, just head to my main channel, find the Twitch link. That'll take you right there. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, with Saturday being dedicated to video games and Tuesday and Thursday being dedicated to movie watch parties for the time being. If you're following me on Twitch, but you do not subscribe to me on YouTube, that is youtube.com/TheRealMrRobinson. Link should be on my channel About section. At least I think it is. I'm still trying to get used to the world of Twitch. I have Safari up still, so let me actually take a look at that. Let me actually make sure that's accurate. While I do that, I actually want to ask you guys a question. Does the countdown work? Like, are you guys okay with the countdown? Because I set it up as a way to get people, basically give people enough time to come in, and so they're not late. And yes, the Twitch About section has the link to my YouTube channel, so if you go there and subscribe to it, that is my main hub. I review movies there, other forms of entertainment. I sometimes do theme park videos, but given how the pandemic is ongoing and Universal and Disneyland are still not open, that's probably not going to happen for a while. And yeah, that's my YouTube is my main source of operation. And if you all like what I'm doing and you want to help support financially, you could go to YouTube. You go to patreon.com/therealmrrobinson. I've recorded more individual episode reviews for WandaVision, and as soon as those go up on my Patreon page, you can subscribe at the $3 tier and get exclusive access to them. But again, just hold off until I actually upload them. If you cannot help support the channel financially, whether YouTube or Twitch, then that's totally fine. Subscribing to me on YouTube and following me on Twitch is good enough. Any type of support that comes my way, I will take it, especially considering that, first of folks, am I still there? Because on Streamlabs, it just said that I got disconnected from my from the stream. So just leave a comment in the chat and tell me if I'm still there. If Nick is saying, okay, if the Twitch crowd is still seeing me, then that's good. And I'm assuming due to the high view count on Streamlabs, the YouTube crowd is still there as well. Silverberry, hello there. Yeah, the Twitch crowd seems to be seeing me okay. Looks like I'm still up on YouTube, so I guess it's all good. William Clark says, you blipped out for a quick second. So I got snapped away like half the universe and then just immediately came back via blip. So I got snapped out, but then blipped back. That is good to know. And on that note, let's get into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 before I'm just going to stop dancing around everything. Nick on Twitch says, I feel like I was being an asshole the last time I was here, so I wanted to say I'm sorry about all that. You know what? I don't even know what stream you were talking about. Was it the one where, was it for Ace Combat 7 were you telling me about how you would have done Avengers Endgame? Because if that's it, then I actually feel like I was the one that was being a prick. But either way, if that was the case, you didn't come across as an asshole. So you are in the clearing. And with that being said, we are good to go. Popo4, if you are still watching this via Twitch, I want to know if I said your username correctly, because I try to make a point to not butcher the usernames of the people who follow me. Anyway, we are good to go. I am set. Make sure you have the movie set. I am pushing the play button and the timestamp counter right about now. So I know, since this is chronological order, we're jumping ahead to a Phase 3 movie, the third film in Phase 3. And I gotta say, this Marvel Studios logo, this never gets old. This is like seeing the Toho logo in front of a Godzilla movie. It's like, you're in for something awesome. Missouri, Earth, 1980. Yeah, this definitely has a different look to it than the first Guardians, because somebody has to steal the secret formula on how to de-age actors in Marvel movies, because Marvel makes it look so seamless, especially with Kurt Russell here and what's her name, Michelle Pfeiffer in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but with Mark Hamill in The Mandalorian, it looks horrifying. What is it? Yeah, it really looks like they like, it doesn't look like a CG Kurt Russell. It looks like somebody really just it really looks like they stole Kurt Russell before he went to film the thing, because it's so convincing. Popo Force on Twitch says, I think Luke was recasted for the Mandalorian. No, it was Mark Hamill. Like, it was a CGI de-aged Mark Hamill, but Mark Hamill did confirm his involvement. I think what they did was they probably had a stunt double on set 34 years later. Yeah, they had a stunt double on set, and then they just had Mark Hamill do voice work. I think that may have been the case. We'll never know because they didn't cover it on Disney Gallery, Making of the Mandalorian. Also, I want to say, I do apologize for having to delay this stream from yesterday, because there was some tech issues with my garage where the door wouldn't open all the way or wouldn't close all the way. So it's like I'd rather try to get that fixed. And by the time it actually got fixed, I only had about an hour to prepare. So I thought, or like I I tried to get fixed and ahead of time before I even knew when I was going to finish it. I just decided to delay it just in case last minute, like I had ended up fixing it at the last minute. And sure enough, like if I'd not delayed the stream, I've only had 1 hour to prepare. And I decided, yeah, it's better I delay it. I love how this whole action scene, like, it's just focused on Baby Groot as he's singing to Mr. Blue, dancing to Mr. Blue Sky. And you don't even get to see a good glimpse of everything that's going on. Like, I know this is a cute moment, but you'd think, like, logically they just want to put Baby Groot inside the Milano and just leave him in there because he's really not contributing anything to this fight. I love how Rocket just manages to take the time to parent Groot, Baby Groot. Nick Sheets on Twitch says, Alex, I just remembered. A while back, I told you I was going to do a FaceTime chat with Elvira. I never had a chance to mention this, but she had to cancel it because of technical errors on her end. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Hope you get another shot. Huh? So is there a physical camera that Baby Group just bumped into? Huh. You know, you'd have to think that the speakers wouldn't be loud enough for any of the other Guardians to hear. That was one take. Like, it was CG, sure, but that was like one shot. Continuous. Yeah, I'm sure this will work out well. Chomp. Good, that alien has, yeah, that alien has gnarly, that thing has gnarly, Shin Godzilla teeth. Okay, if it looks like I'm ignoring you guys in the YouTube chat, I want to apologize right now because for some reason on the multi-stream portion of Streamlabs, it's only showing the Twitch chat. So I apologize. Like Turner Jenkins, hello there. The Gaming Dry Bones. One thing that ruins the movie is the pop songs. I'm not a fan of them. I like some pop songs, but in this movie, I'm not a fan of them. The villain's better than Ronan. Also, are the gold people villains too? If so, they suck, but slightly better than Ronan. Yeah, the Sovereign race are supposed to be villains as well, but I feel like they might, given what happens at the end of the movie, they might play a bigger part in Volume 3, because I think they easily could have been cut out of this movie. So yeah, it's so weird that I'm not seeing the Twitch. Yeah, it's weird I'm not seeing the YouTube comments on the multi-stream tab. I have to switch over to the YouTube tab. Of course, it's all nanotech. All right, there is a dog that is barking its ass off outside. There's Elizabeth Debicki, the tallest woman in the world. Oh, it's not an it. It's a who. Okay, Gzilla100 on Twitch says, I'm watching a show called Ultra Q. Oh, no, is that Ultra A? I know you asked me if I'm going to review Ultra Q at some point. This year, I don't think I have the time. But Jesus. See, the reason for me, I think the soundtrack here is much better than the song selection's better than in Volume One. But the reason you have the reason to have these songs and why they're important is because it's the only thing that Peter Quill has in terms of a connection to Earth, and it just, in a way, it just kind of makes this distant world feel a bit closer to home. um, yeah, you could tell this movie was shot by somebody different because the DP for Volume One shot a lot of movies for Marvel. Age of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Ben Davis, and they always looked darker. Like the movies always seemed a little darker than usual. This one's definitely more brighter and colorful. The hell did he come from? How romantic. Have I seen the trailer for Mortal Kombat? Says DeQuantate from YouTube. I have. Great motivational speech, Drax. Oops, sorry. Yeah, the okay symbol, like ever since it's been associated with white power, I'm like, I can't use it anymore. Like it sucks. Huh? But it's like great. Anyway, do that over again so I don't get canceled. Uh, Great motivational speech, Drax. Razorbike on YouTube says, I think the characters in this are much better than Volume 1. Uh, Too late. Um, yeah, this movie like basically gives more character development to the Guardians than the first one did, because the first one was about them coming together. But how? How is that? Yeah, because you didn't look foolish at all before. Yeah, it is kind of a weird decision to make, to give these sovereign. It's weird to have these really arcade type sound effects for a high society of aliens in another galaxy. Or at least I assume this is a different galaxy. Um, Whatever. That's that might be problematic. Ew. Gamora's like, God, I wish there was another woman on this team. Yeah, when I first saw this movie, like I hated, I hated Rocket. Um, but then watching it again, it's like, but yeah, the second time I saw it was like, yeah, I still hate him, but you're supposed to hate him at first, and then later on you like he's supposed to learn like to quit being an egotistical douchebag. Huh. You know, like where it says spacesuits used for emergencies or fun. It makes sense. Like it kind of makes sense that that little bit is written there because since Peter Quill was abducted at 9 or 8 years old, um, it makes sense for Peter Quill to be like this man child. What is he doing? Okay, going back to Twitch, Gzilla100 meant to say Ultra Q. Okay. No, I haven't, but I don't think I'll have the time to watch it or Ultraman. Jesus. It's a miracle they weren't shredded to pieces. God, Elizabeth Debicki is tall. Um, Turner Jenkins on YouTube says, "Hey Alex, have you heard of the YouTube channel Wikizilla?" I have. I've actually watched a handful of their videos. Um, Jordy Underground says, "Random question, but is anyone going to watch TCM Underground tonight? It's the best thing on Friday nights." I uh, I have too much work to do after this is done, in the sense of YouTube videos, because I'm prepping for my Watchmen review next Friday for Zack Snyder's Watchmen, and I'm still working on those episode reviews of WandaVision for patrons. Drax almost killing himself, not the first time and not the last time. And I have heard of Monster Island Buddies. I've seen some of his more recent videos, but I remember watching his videos like way, 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 way back in the day when it was just like toy Godzilla's. Jeez. It's again, I said this Tuesday, but it's weird how Rocket takes offense to being called a raccoon because that's actually what he is. But when Thor calls him a rabbit, yeah, when Thor calls him a rabbit, he just doesn't argue with it. I have heard of Attack on Titan. I actually, like 5, 6 years ago, I tried watching the first episode on of the anime on Netflix, and it was cool. I just didn't have the motivation to continue. I know Shinji Higuchi made 2 movies, which I actually heard were terrible. So, bottom line, I have. Contraxia. There's Howard the Duck again. I I hope Howard the Duck has a bigger role in Volume 3. And I feel like Howard the Duck is such an infamous Marvel character that it would be bizarre to not have him come back up in a more major role later down the line. Um, okay, I'm gonna read a few more YouTube comments and then I'm gonna switch back over to Twitch. What I love about these characters is that while they're very goofy, they don't take themselves that seriously. At the same time, they're also very broken with all the trauma they've been through. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Which is something I don't think, like the naysayers of the MCU, like they really don't give enough credit to all the great character work that goes into these movies, because that's really the thing that sells these movies. It's not the humor, it's not the big grand spectacle, it's the characters. What do you think about people's complaints with this movie having too many jokes? Um, I don't think they're entirely wrong. I am the law. Sorry. I love Sylvester Stallone, so it's even with Rambo: Last Blood. I hope he comes back in Volume 3. Because it's very weird to have someone as iconic as Sylvester Stallone just pop up as pretty much a cameo in this movie. Um, anyway, as for this movie having too many jokes, I can kind of see how people think that, because there are a few points where I think the movie thinks it's funnier than it actually is. But at the same time, I don't think it goes overboard the way Age of Ultron does with its humor. So I could see what people are saying, but the movie is genuinely funny and goofy. And another thing that works about the like the overall humorous tone of the MCU. Okay, that's kind of funny. Like, just considering how egotistical the sovereign nation is, like that's a funny joke. But the thing about what makes the humor work so well in the MCU is that it humanizes the characters. Like, yeah, it's like, hey, you're laughing with them and you're having fun. And then once the heavy shit happens, it just makes it that more impactful. Okay, I'm gonna go back over to stream, or to stream, to Twitch. Not much new action. GZL100 says, I'm watching Challenge from the year 2020 on Ultra Q. Did this show predict the future? I can't say because I have not seen Ultra Q, so I don't have context. Spiders Prime says just say yes. What about the Ultra Q thing? Way to break up the touching moment there. I'm just gonna check the Twitch summary. All right, 2 people are watching me on Twitch now. That's a big downgrade from the 4, but whatever. My fingers almost got bitten off. William Clark on YouTube says, I will admit some of the jokes in this movie are hit and miss for me, but what made this movie overall good, the character development, mostly with Peter and Yondu. Yeah. How's the weather over here? The weather's fine. It's typical LA weather, really. Although I gotta say, since Texas has been really suffering due to snowstorms and the fact that its government is goddamn incompetent. It does make me worry about what could happen to California in the future. Because if Texas hasn't experienced something like that before, then we're probably not too far away from California experiencing something like that too. Gzilla 100. Gzilla 100 on YouTube says, watch the original Planet of the Apes, and it was pretty damn good. Oh yeah, the first Planet of the Apes is a masterpiece. Jeez. Okay, that device that Rocket has. Yeah, that thing right there. I wish that was actually a real device because fixing stuff would just be a breeze if you could just like spray paint it with lasers. Yeah, I would say that Nebula is more improved. G Cole YP on YouTube said that biggest improvement that this movie had over the first is what they do with Yondu and Nebula. I'd say, yeah, Yondu, yes, but I'd say Nebula even more so because, I mean, she was the most interesting villain in that last movie. But, um, yeah, what they do, like Nebula, again, it's amazing how she went from a secondary villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, and made it all the way to the last two Avengers films. I never noticed the tiny little green streaks in Mantis's hair. Okay, sidetrack. Maybe not such a far out sidetrack. Hold on, I want to check on the Twitch crowd. Silverberry328 says it's 4 here. Okay, maybe it's improved. But either way, I'm grateful that tonight throughout YouTube and Twitch, the view count hasn't gone below 10, at least from what Streamlabs is showing me. Um, anyway, one of my favorite memes um, was when yeah, that little moment with Drax will come and bite them on the ass the next time we see him. Anyway, one of my favorite memes when uh, in 2016 when Batman vs Superman Civil War came out was like sad Ben Affleck with Chris Evans just doing this, and then in 2017 when we just got, which I think 2017 was the best year for comic book movies in the last decade, even with Justice League. Like every comic book movie that came out in 2017, people kept adding to the meme, like, or at least like in Facebook, in the Double Toasted fan page Facebook group, like they kept building that meme up. Like when Lego Batman came out, they added Lego Batman next to sad Ben Affleck and Chris Evans laughing at him, and Lego Batman's laughing. When Logan came out, you had Hugh Jackman behind sad Ben Affleck, snickering. When Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came out, you had Drax and Mantis pointing and laughing at Lego Ben Affleck. Then when Wonder Woman came out, you had Wonder Woman laughing. When Spider-Man Homecoming came out, you had Spider-Man laughing. When Thor Ragnarok came out, you had Thor laughing. And then when Justice League came out, you just had two sad Ben Afflecks. One was for Justice League and the other was for Batman vs. Superman. And I just love how that Facebook group kept updating that meme. Yeah, this moment is definitely goofy. Like, especially this one wide shot coming up. Right there. Like, that looks straight up cartoonish. Like, DeQuan Tate on YouTube says his favorite line in the movie is from Yondu. We'll get to that line because that's actually my favorite line in this movie as well. I think that's everyone's favorite line from this movie. Yeah, kind of embarrassing that they all get taken out by a raccoon. Huh. All right, I'm gonna check. I'm just gonna check on my phone what you guys are saying on Twitch, if anyone is saying anything. All right, 3 people watching. Nobody, nothing in the chat. Okay, let me check Streamlabs. I hope people in Texas will find help and they'll get better. I do too. Yeah, because I mean, Beto O'Rourke, Beto O'Rourke, I hope I pronounced his name correctly, and then Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez have done a lot to like raise money and help the people of Texas. Meanwhile, their actual senator got caught heading to Cancun with his family, and then because he got caught, he had to head back to reluctantly help Texas. Ted Cruz is such a fucker. Like, I'm sorry, but he's such a turd. Or as Peter Quill calls Rocket here, Trash Panda. Oh, and Nick Sheets on Twitch says, I had to have dinner, but I'm still here. That's good. Huh. Yeah, there's going to be a change in leadership, but at the moment, it's going to be her. Pretty generous for Nebula to just stun Rocket. There's George Harrison. I can't remember the. Why can't, like, this is one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack. Why can't I, for the love of me, name this off the top of my head? Uh, My Sweet Lord, as he just said. Favorite horror protagonist, says Gzilla100. Oh, there's so many to choose from. Well, since we're on the topic of Kurt Russell, McCready from The Thing, like he's such a smart, such a smart character, and I don't know how many people know this, but originally The Thing was supposed to be like a straight up ensemble movie where you didn't have a clear idea on who the protagonist was. But then the movie actually got delayed from its original release date. And so John Carpenter reworked and reshot the movie to make McCready the lead. So yeah, McCready, Ripley from Ellen Ripley from the Alien movies. Mainly the first two, because everyone loves to forget about everything else. Ash Williams. That's another great one from Evil Dead. Chris Washington from Get Out. Yes. I mean, so far, I feel like time will tell in terms of him as a character, but like how he ranks up to McCready, Ash, or Ripley. But that's another really good character. All right, I'm going to check up on the Twitch crowd. Nick Sheets on Twitch says, also, Alex, I have a movie recommendation for you if you haven't already seen it. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Love One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I saw it for the first time at actually my grandparents' house years ago. And while I personally think Jaws should have taken Best Picture that year, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a great movie. Okay, I like up coming up here. Gamora's reaction is priceless. Gamora's look when he says it's not half bad. It's like, okay, I don't need to know anymore. Oh man, I gotta say, like, we're a ways to go, but Even when I thought this movie was just okay when I first saw it, the big reveal that comes up later on is just like a gut punch. Gzilla100 on YouTube says, you know, Ultraman is a series that still uses practical effects to this day. I know this. The series was created by Eiji Tsuburaya under his own production company. So it's cool that they're carrying that tradition, but from what we've seen in Shin Ultraman, it clearly doesn't look like they'll be... It looks like they're just going to be doing what they did with Shin Godzilla and do CG. Which, considering how Japanese CG doesn't hold up to American CG, it doesn't look all that bad. Oh, yeah, these Ravagers are fucked up. It's kind of weird that he doesn't just get sucked out into space. He's just like floats for a bit. Yeah, there's a lot of fucked up stuff in this movie. Behold, Mr. Krabs' worst fear, says Spider's Prime on YouTube. What is that? Yeah. I love how all the other Ravagers are like, yeah, no. Have Daquan Tate says, have you seen the third SpongeBob movie? Are you talking about the one that was the one with Keanu Reeves as a tumbleweed? I haven't, because it actually hasn't come out yet in the United States. Apparently it's been out everywhere else. It's been out in other countries for a while, but it hasn't come out in the US thanks to, you know, the pandemic. Oh yeah, apparently Kraglin was was part of the big final battle in Endgame. Yeah, that's a like. It's amazing how this movie manages to make Thanos scary without even showing him. Like Thanos does not pop up in this movie, and yet the backstory that Nebula gives us on basically how he treated both her and Gamora is pretty effective, especially once we see them again in Infinity War. Turner Jenkins on YouTube asked, "Where was Kraglin though?" Kraglin was he was on one of the speeders. Like it's if I'm correct, I think it's you could barely make him out, but it's one of the shots where it's the big shot where the Avengers are charging at Thanos right before Thanos lifts his sword and points to have his minions charge. I mean, he should. I feel like if you go frame by frame in that moment, he should be easy to point out because he's wearing Yondu's fin that we see in this movie. All right, what are y'all on Twitch talking about? Nick Sheets says, it's funny. McCready from The Thing was mentioned earlier because today I uploaded an animated trailer I made for it earlier today. Oh, nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Is it on your channel already, or is it coming up? Man, this is one of those moments where like we know since Kurt Russell's playing Ego the Living Planet, like we don't like we know he's the villain just based on the character he's playing, but like we don't want him to be the villain at the same time. That is such a beautiful looking movie. Like I know a lot of it has to be CGI, but so colorful. Um, oh come on, Drax. Mantis is adorable. Okay, folks. While I'll wait till this tender scene plays out. Nick Sheets says it's on my channel. Okay, I will. I will take a look at that later on. Gzilla100 says might be leaving soon to hang out with my friends. Okay. Yeah, do whatever you have to do, man. Anyway, as I was saying, for my Twitch schedule this coming weekend, I've updated it, but it's going to be Ace Combat 7 again tomorrow. And then Sunday, I will be doing the PS2 game War of the Monsters. Yeah, I'll be doing the PS2 video game War of the Monsters. Huh. It's too adorable to kill. Yeah, I'll be doing War of the Monsters. And then for next weekend, I'm actually only going to be recording... I'm only going to be streaming Saturday. I'll still do Age of Ultron Ant-Man on the weekday, but in terms of next weekend... I'm only going to be doing Saturday because I'm planning to do a much longer stream with more games. Because next Saturday I turn the big 3-0. So basically it's going to be a long birthday stream next Saturday. Don't know what the games will be yet, but it'll be a lot and longer than usual. Just giving you all the heads up now. Rocket is so ungrateful. Where is your little friend, by the way? Are they saying mascot? Man, that is fucked up, huh? Just walk away in shame. I asked that about Rocket, says William Clark on YouTube. Are you a professional a-hole or something? Oh, this music that plays uh, in I'm never going to apologize for bringing up theme park stuff again, but this music right here plays when in Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout when Rocket Raccoon is pretty much giving you the rundown on what you do on the ride and how you help break the Guardians free and how and basically they meet up with Mantis once they're out. How did one of those get on board? Or Lonan? Yeah, that is like Rocket laughing hysterically at that is one of those moments where I think the movie thinks it's funnier than it actually is. The movie thinks it's funnier than it actually is. Dude. Dude. that, that is like, wow, that dark humor. Okay, quick question for those of you who are in YouTube and Twitch. Do you think adult Groot uh, would understand anything here? Like, I get Groot's a baby, but anyway, would if Groot were an adult, would he be like as dumb and trying to figure out what he's supposed to get? Like here, since Groot's a child, a baby, you could kind of forgive him, but I just wonder how adult Groot or even teenage Groot would handle this situation. Spiders Prime on YouTube says, I remember a meme where Groot randomly picked up Finn from the Star Wars sequel trilogy. I don't think I've ever seen that meme. You fail. Um, what was something I was gonna say? Shit, I forgot. Yeah, with since this movie was actually the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie was made before the Marvel creative team broke up, and Kevin Feige started just calling all the shots. And since all the Phase 3 movies, starting with Doctor Strange, seem to embrace more of the comic book nature of of the source material, I wonder if the Marvel creative team would not have allowed Yondu to have the classic Finn right here. Bah! that facial reaction's priceless. Maybe I should have shot him before, instead of, maybe I should have shot him before saying, down there. You. Come here, you rat bastard. Yeah, this part is great. Like, it's like we got to see the one moment of Yondu with the arrow in the first movie, dead, and now um, basically James Gunn just took that moment and expanded on it. Nice shot. Well, it looked like Rocket had a DL-44. Huh. You blew it up. William Clark says, I wondered how this scene didn't get them an R rating. Because there's no gratuitous gore. Like, there's no real blood. There's no blood when he's being pierced. Like, it's the equivalent of, like, people getting cut up by a lightsaber. Like, sure, it's gore, but sure, it's violent, but unless you have a ridiculous amount of blood, then there's no need for an R rating. I didn't realize he lost his hair. Man, what an embarrassing way to go. Huh? The last thing you hear before you die is somebody making fun of your name. Like, wow, that's an embarrassing way to go out. Because a raccoon a boy. Oh, there's Korg species. Oh, this sequence is so fucking bizarre. Jesus. And it gets weirder the second we cut back. King Reiko, first of all, welcome. On YouTube, he says, imagine what this film would have been like if Star-Lord's father was Jay-Sun in the comics rather than Ego. Yeah, I knew in the comics that Ego was not Quill's dad. And was it still the same situation where Jason killed Quill's mother? Like, I know there's something where there's that aspect is still there from this movie. Oh, Sam and Diane. And chances are Gamora doesn't even know what Quill's talking about with Sam and Diane. Razorbike on YouTube says, "This is the scene that made me laugh the hardest when I saw it, and my brother and I were in tears. It hurt to laugh. I was laughing so hard." You're talking about the the jump point sequence. Um, Giselle 100 says King Kong 1976 is coming out on Blu-ray, and we'll have the extended TV cut. Could you review that when it comes out? I've already reviewed the Dino De Laurentiis remake. Um, yeah, I've already reviewed the Dino De Laurentiis remake, and I haven't seen the TV cut, or maybe I have, but I just don't remember it. But I doubt it would make a difference. North by Northwest. Like, this is straight up from North by Northwest. Run, Gamora, run! William Clark on YouTube says, it's funny, I was watching Frasier around the point this film came out, so I understood the Cheers reference. Yeah, last year during quarantine, I spent all of, like, from June to December, I was watching the entire series of Cheers, all 11 seasons with my mom. And it's like, I'd seen Cheers several times. Like, I've seen several episodes of Cheers, but I never actually watched the series from beginning to end. And the fact that I watched 11 seasons throughout 6 months is actually quite an accomplishment. Yeah, you didn't really think this through, Nebula. Amazing that Nebula survives that. I'm just checking Stream Manager on Twitch. All right, everything's good on Twitch's end. And on YouTube's end. Come on. Yeah, I'm using I'm using my Switch to check YouTube. All right, everything's good on YouTube's end also. Cool. And that's all I wanted. What I really, really wanted. I couldn't resist. Yeah, like again, people I feel like a lot of people don't give the MCU the credit that it deserves when it comes to character moments. One of my favorite tiny moments from Avengers Endgame is right after the scene where Clint's family disappears. It's when Tony and Nebula are on the ship playing paper football. Um, like Tony Stark's being a good sport about it, and at the end, he's like, "And you've won." And there's that small moment where Nebula's in disbelief that, like, wait, wait, I won, and like she couldn't believe that Tony Stark was just taking the loss and going, "Congratulations." So that's again, it's a very very small moment, but I love it. King Raiko says the progression towards the reveal of Ego's dark secret belongs in a horror movie. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, um, yeah, again, like I said, even when I thought this movie was okay originally, that reveal was still a gut punch. Razorbike says, I like the 76 version of King Kong, but not as much as the 33 or 2005 version. Yeah, I won't say that the Dino De Laurentiis remake of King Kong is atrocious or even bad. It's just kind of hollow. The best thing about it are the special effects sequences. And that's really about it. Like the only other thing that I appreciate the movie for is giving us the King Kong encounter at the studio tour and confrontation at Universal Studios Florida. Speak up, Mantis. Oh, come on, Drax. That's saying something. You now belong to me, Peter Quill, my son. It's beautiful. Dude. Yeah, this is like shit, man. Meanwhile, back to the goofiness. Like just a tilt machine. And there's the best Stan Lee cameo in the series. And we'll get to that cameo later on. Wow. Razorbike on YouTube says, speaking of which, my brother mentions that both this and The Thing feature cosmic horror entities. I wouldn't really go as far as say that this is a horror movie or has like it has some creepy moments, sure, but no like horror creature like The Thing. Man, Ego's made out with everything and boned everything in the galaxy apparently. Jesus. Meanwhile, Vin Diesel breaks out of his Groot role and says, yeah, I copyright that. Yeah, funny to think that this movie came out a month after Fate and the Furious. This movie ended up being a much better film about a metaphorical family, and it both of them had Kurt Russell. All right, what's going on over on Twitch? Silverberry328 says still good on this end. That is fantastic. Are they? Oh, yeah. That moment is just like shit. David Hasselhoff. Yeah, that moment. Like again, we see it coming, but shit. That yeah. Whew. Still trying to. Sorry, I need a minute because that moment is just. Ugh. Okay, I'm back. I think. And there goes. See, that's why having the pop songs in this series is important because again, that's his only connection. That's Peter Quill's only connection to Earth, and now Yondu, no, not Yondu, Ego, uh, after revealing that he was the one who killed Peter Quill's mom, suddenly just crushed his only connection to Earth. So that's why it's important to have that. Hey, it's the Blob. Oh, apparently that shot zooming in of Kurt Russell, that was a real shot, and the camera almost smacked Kurt Russell. And the outtakes, he says, "Easy there. That came in way too close." Dumber, smaller Groot. Huh. Turner Jenkins says, has Pac-Man showed up yet? Nope, not yet. I like how that spaceship has just old ass steering wheels. Ah, hoo-hoo-hoo-wee. So you gotta wonder, with those giant blue blobs popping up on Earth, do you think the Avengers took aware of this? Like, obviously, the Avengers had to have been aware of that moment. And then also, what else? That is not what those lyrics are, Kraglin. Oh yeah, the worst part of the movie is reared its ugly head again. Daquan Tate on YouTube asks, have you seen or at least heard of Pinocchio's Revenge? I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. Wasn't Yondu one of the in the comics? Wasn't Yondu one of the original Guardians? Like before the modern, like before like the modern reboot in the comics. Huh. G Cole BYP says yes, he was. Okay. Like when the Sovereign show up, I love Yondu's reaction coming up. Oh hell! Yeah, probably no reason to have that song just randomly pop up at that moment, but whatever. Spiders Prime says, I hope we see Silver Surfer in a future Guardians movie. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where the Silver Surfer pops up. Because I don't know if I don't think they'd want to bring him in right away in Fantastic Four. That giant mummy face. Wow. Okay, so the literal it's like, yeah, that is the worst idea anybody could. You know, you got to give props to Quill for realizing that his biological father killed his mother, and then later on to just casually go, oh, what a day. Boop, boom. Groot didn't listen to a fucking word Rocket said. So why does that button exist? Is it only for this gag? Yeah, I feel like if you put tape over the death button, that's going to accidentally push the button. Huh. Yeah, that... Huh. I'm going to check on Twitch. Nothing new on that end. G Colby YP says, and also for all the people who said Quill was being out of character when he hit Thanos in Infinity War, did they not see Volume 2 when he found out that Ego killed his mom? Thank you. Thank you. Like, that's the... Like, it's like, no... Like, you have every right to be mad at Peter Quill for what he did, but to say he's out of character when he did that is not true at all. Because Quill is a very emotional driven character. So it makes total sense that he'd react as brash as he did. Sorry, you lose. Oh yeah, here comes the line. Turn Jenkins asks, did we get to the best line in the movie? No, not yet. But it's coming up right now. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. Okay. I really love when How It Should Have Ended made the Mary like an edited version of the Mary Poppins trailer, but with Yondu instead of Mary Poppins herself. Bam! Wow, great timing there, Drax. Just great. Spider-Man's Prime said birth of so many cosplays. I think there was a I think there was an actual photo of Michael Rooker at Disneyland taking his picture with Mary Poppins. Okay, okay, just checking Twitch to see if any new updates going on. So folks, once again, let's try to after we get through the movie. Oh, my nipples. After we get through the movie's 5 stingers, because this is the only MCU movie that has more than 2 stingers. If you're watching this on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv and we'll attempt to rate a channel again. William Clark on YouTube says, work on your timing, Drax. Yeah. Huh. Ah. Oh, now the helmet's actually broken. G. Colby BYP on YouTube says, I've seen people on Twitter compare Quill hitting Thanos to the Martha moment from BVS. Why did you say that name? At least Quill hitting him makes sense, while the Martha moment was just stupid. Well, okay. There are a couple reasons why I've never heard people make that comparison. But the difference between Peter Quill is that we've had 3 movies prior to get to know him as a character. So when that moment pops up, it feels completely organic. And it's like, yeah, we're mad at him, but we wouldn't expect him to do anything less. With Batman vs. Superman, it's the second movie with Henry Cavill's Superman, and he's not really that well developed. The movie doesn't even give a shit about Superman. And then we have Ben Affleck's Batman, who's just been introduced. And for some reason, they thought the big dramatic moment that's going to make these 2 characters come to terms with each other is that their mothers share the same last name. And it's like, no, that is stupid. Like, that is just flat out dumb. And it's dumb, and the fact that the movie plays it so seriously, it ends up being silly. but I'm going to be revisiting Batman vs Superman next week. And Man of Steel. So that video should come up not this coming Friday, but the next Friday. So yeah, I'll save my opinions for when that comes out. William Clark says, "How cool would it be if a planet was one of your parents?" That'd be awesome, unless that parent murdered your mother. It's like, where are the Avengers? Like, are the Avengers taking notice of this? And yeah, in other parts of the galaxy, um, like you gotta figure if Carol took notice of this and tried to, like, what was she gonna do? Head to one of these planets? Because clearly, as much as Carol's been flying across the entire galaxy, she couldn't be everywhere at once. Oh, is there a new? Oh, Nick Sheets on Twitch says, "I'm still here, Alex. I'm just doing my own thing in a separate window." Okay. that shot of Rocket and Quill flying it reminds me of the opening scene in season 3 of Community. We're gonna fly to school each morning, and I forget the rest of the lyrics there. I need to review that. I need to really stop procrastinating and review that series again. Okay, I better stop. Because YouTube's been really bad about recently about even like humming the music. So I got to be careful of I got to be careful, but I really want to start singing. And for the love of God, please push the right button. Oh God, Groot, please make the right decision, you dumb tree. Oh, that. Oh, it looks like it's weird how the entire how Ego just turned into Geonosis all of a sudden. Oh, I think Pac-Man's about to come up. Have I seen Idle Hands, says DeQuantate on YouTube. I have not. Oh, Groot's first swear word. I am Groot. Okay, we're not quite at Pac-Man yet. Here it comes. Sure. Because why not? Only a minute and 7 seconds left. Spider's Prime on YouTube says, waka 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 waka. Yeah, this. It's weird how, again, going back to how my opinion on this movie's drastically changed. Um, like the ending, the first time I saw it, the ending didn't really affect me that much. Now, this second time around, no, this third time around, like it really impacts me. Thank God it's just one planet with one person living on it. Otherwise, Quill would have committed mass genocide. Mm. That's probably the second best line in the movie. Yeah, I'm with you. Uh, G Cole BYP. I really do not understand how people can consider this one of the weaker movies. And this is coming from someone who did think this was one of the weaker movies uh, back in 2017. like again, yet all these movies are very humorous in many aspects, but because you're having fun and you're like you really like these characters, when the heavy moments hit, they hit hard. Hmm. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm sorry for being quiet. I'm just taking it all in. Hmm. So yeah, Nebula goes off, and either she's either she spends 4 years looking for Thanos, or she's captured by Thanos and is held prisoner for 4 years. Because this movie came out in 2017, but this is still supposed to be 2014. Yeah, I know this is an emotional moment, but how many of y'all have seen people use a Zune, and how many people out there actually use a Zune? I'm hoping Yondu had another prototype Finn, or another Finn on board, because yeah, that one's burnt away. Like people saying Thor Ragnarok was everything in this movie. Say like people say Thor Ragnarok was everything this movie should have been, and I'm like that movie has the same thing you guys complain about Guardians 2 having, with jokes undermining the emotional stuff. Huh? Yeah, I'd say this movie's a lot more emotional than Thor Ragnarok, and I think again, I think Thor Ragnarok has some good character moments that people don't give it credit for. Yeah, we're at the funeral scene. They're playing father and son right now. Kraglins happy as hell. Again, I hope Stallone comes back for more than a cameo. Oh, it's Ving Rhames. And Michelle Yeoh, who is going to be in Shang-Chi. So, yeah, weird that Michelle Yeoh pops up in this movie as that character, and then she's going to be a completely different character in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Oh yeah, and then like throughout these two movies, we see Gamora and Quill get closer together, which makes her death even harder to handle in Infinity War. And for them to just bring Gamora back as like the pre Guardians of the Galaxy Gamora from another universe, it'll be interesting to see what they do with her in Volume 3. Or if she pops up in the holiday special, what will happen? Yep, that's it. The Guardians of the Galaxy will return. All right, here's Stinger number 1. Run, Kraglin. Just pretend like nothing happened. All right, Razorbike, you have a good night. Everyone else, again, if you're watching this on YouTube, head over to twitch.tv and we'll raid a channel. Let me open up Safari and see who we can raid. Again, after we get through the last 4 stingers. Star-Lord like AC/DC. Of course, Rocket would be like a devil. There's Cosmo. There's a sorcerer. Let's go steal some shit. I wonder if that alien trained under the Ancient One. I think interesting will be the best way to phrase the holiday special. I mean, given Marvel's track record throughout 13 years, it'll be curious to see, like I feel confident that it'll be good at the end of the day. Wait, the robot head is Miley Cyrus? Wait, what? What the hell? Hold on, I'm going to look that up on the old IMDb. Hang on a second. Let me see. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just looking up the cast on IMDb. Let's see. She's not listed on IMDb. Oh yeah, now here's the stinger that actually sets up something. Probably. Mainframe is the character, and it says Miley Cyrus. Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, I mean, she's not listed on IMDb, but Hollywood Reporter says it's Miley Cyrus, so I will take that as credible. How it should have ended. They did throughout a lot of their comic book movie How It Should Have Ended videos, they kept building up to like a fictional character named Martha, and it's set up in their How It Should Have Ended for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I think I shall call him Martha. Okay, I'm hoping all of you've seen the music video of this song that it's filmed like it came out of the 1970s with the cast and James Gunn. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys, I'm just dancing to this. I'm a terrible dancer. Even standing, I'm probably a terrible dancer, but whatever. Is that supposed to be Peter's grandpa? Oh, well. There's Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster. Think by his side. Sequoia, the two of them walk by. People say, "Oh boy." Get off of my back, damn it. I didn't learn parenting. My daddy was a planet. That's going to get me in trouble on YouTube, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully this video is long enough to where they don't bother to look. I like this moment. Teenage Groot. I love it. I love how over time Quill's just been able to understand what Groot's saying. I am not boring, you're boring. All right, guys, once again, we're coming up to the very end of the credits. Make sure you head to twitch.tv if you're watching this on YouTube, and we'll try to rate a channel. And if you're watching me on YouTube, but you do not follow me on Twitch at all, just head to youtube.com/. No, if you watch me on YouTube, but not on Twitch, head over to twitch.tv/Real Mr. Robinson. Give me a follow. I stream every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. If you follow me on Twitch, but do not subscribe to me on YouTube, that is youtube.com/The Real Mr. Robinson, which is my main hub for content, movie reviews, and other forms of entertainment. If you like what I'm doing, you can head over to patreon.com/Real Mr. Robinson for special rewards. If you can't support the channel financially, that's totally fine. Following me on Twitch and YouTube is good enough. And informant Stan Lee is just left there on the planet. Oh, he'll pop up on Earth somewhere. Oh, maybe next time we see him, he'll be a World War II vet. Although that line, before I was so rudely interrupted, at that time I was a Federal Express man, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, I know this was made and released after Captain America Civil War, where he did show up as a FedEx man. But when you really stop to think about it, this takes place before Civil War. Whatever. Maybe, I don't know how the Watchers work in the comics, but maybe they have some interdimensional travel way. Oh, somebody's back meowing. All right. Yeah. Again, guys, head over to for those of you who are on YouTube, and you have Twitch, I'm just gonna give you guys the link. Oh, hush, you. Be quiet. Give me a second. Yes, I know. I don't know if you guys can hear her meowing, but she is meowing. Okay, again, for those of you who are on YouTube, the Twitch link is in the chat. Just head there. Let's see, who do we want to raid? Not many people on board. You know what? Three people are vanishing. Oh, I'm disappointed. Or it went from 5 people to 3. I'm disappointed in you two who left. I want to wait for more people to come in, but if not, then maybe because I'd like to raid with like at least 5 people. If there's only 3, it's maybe not all that worth it. Let me check Stream Manager to see what the count is. It says 4 people. It says this session's been going on for 2.5 hours. Okay, let me stop the counter. Let me stop it, and now let me just reset it for Age of Ultron when we get to it. Okay. All right, 5 people are here. Who do we want to raid? You know what? Let's hold on. Just bear with me, folks. Yeah, there's not many people I'm following to raid. Oh, okay, screw it. Let's raid Brizzy Voices. Yeah, she's on Twitch right now playing Among Us. So, yeah, let's go raid her channel. And, yeah, that being said, thank you all for tuning in. This is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there's only one. See you guys tomorrow for Ace Combat 7 on Twitch.